All right, guys, so I think it's time that we make a front bumper for Spike. So I've been looking at things and I'm trying to decide. I want to make something that's obviously gonna work once the IFS stuff is gone. And so I'm thinking the best thing to do is to chop it right there, get rid of this lower stuff, obviously get rid of the aluminum. I'd like to make a center section that's kind of similar to the Stomper that comes kind of down and then 90 degrees back in to the bottom of the main frame. We're gonna try and carriage a winch in here. But I think instead of doing the plate outer edges, which is like super duper common on these things, I think I'm gonna cap the ends, and I'd like to bring tube around and kind of stop back here by the flare somewhere. We'll bring one pipe up high and then bring in another one from like where the point is out here at the angle. We'll tie in and bring a second tube around and kind of tie them together. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe a gusset or something in the corner. We'll see. I kind of fabricate on the fly when I get going with something like that. So, you know, a little bit of CAD board and a marker, and you know, stand back and eyeball it once or twice and just kind of go with it. So, but right now, I'm just gonna unbolt this aluminum brace, which I've already had off once when I was straightening things out, and just gonna start eyeballing it today, get some measurements, and hopefully I can get a hold of some steel and get to getting on it sometime early in the week. So this is kind of my rough idea for a shape. You can see that thin piece of metal there, but that's kind of the angle I'm hoping to get away with, something like that. Obviously we're gonna tie in some pull tabs, you know, for D-rings. And then I need to figure out, again, not sure if I'm gonna do the, like cut it out and do the exposed winch like I had done on Stomper, or if we're gonna try and hide the winch inside. The exposed winch is nice, more serviceable, easier to access if something were to go haywire. But obviously the enclosed winch is a little more protected. So I don't know. I mean, I really haven't had an issue with Stomper's winch the way it is, so maybe we'll just go that route. But yeah, something a little like that, kind of like it. And tying in those tubes on the sides. Like I had said, we'll flat panel the end of this and then bring those tubes around. I think it'll look pretty cool. Keep things kind of tucked high and tight. You know, this tube here will kind of hide the body stuff back there. We bring it up and around. I think it'll all tie in kind of cool. So anyway, just tinkering. As Ken called me and said, "Hey, where are you at? Can I bring these axles to you for Spike to get them out of my way? Because I need them out of my way." And I'm like, actually, I'm at Coble Hall and I could stop on my way home. So here we are. Well, good afternoon and welcome back. So today, my garage looks like this. We were one of the lucky ones here in northern Michigan, and I definitely don't mean lucky. Sunday, of course, there's frost in the ground here in northern Michigan, a lot of it. and Sunday it rained. Yeah, we got quite a bit. Unfortunately, when you spend a lot of money and have a new house built, and a lot of that money goes for permitting fees, right? So you got like drainage people that look at the blueprint and the survey and land layout, and all kinds of people have had their hands on these blueprints, know where you're building a house. But do you think any of them took the time to look and see that my house was like kind of in a direct path of storm drains? So no, apparently not. And so I just went and walked, and basically there's like 4 different properties that dump water on each other. The culmination is that my house is the low point of those 4 pieces of property, and we had water in a scary amount up in my up against the wall that leads into my basement, my walkout basement. And thank God the house was built extremely well, and it held back what could have been a major catastrophe. But we still lost a lot. I mean, we had some serious water damage. Basically, all the finish work I had done in the basement was pretty much lost. As far as we had to cut all the drywall a couple feet up from the floor, cut all the insulation a couple feet up from the floor, pull up the carpeting, all the cabinetry that we had for down there. Of course, it's all like pressboard sides, and that stuff just swells up and it's all junk. And yeah, and this garage is full of personal items and stuff that were stored in the basement that got waterlogged. We brought them up here to dry out and ran stuff through the washer, and we threw away a ton of stuff. But yeah, so we haven't had any real cool projects to work on, so to speak, because we've been dealing with that. But I need a break from that. So today I've come out into the garage to show you what I picked up while I was at Ken's on Saturday night right before the rain. So what we have here is a 2004 Super Duty Dana 60 front axle and a Chevy 14 bolt rear axle. So these axles have been modified with trusses that are set up for a JK Wrangler. And I think I've got ideas of how to make that all work. We're gonna see if I can do that. But there's also air locker for the front, grizzly locker for the rear, 513 gears, chromoly outer axle shafts, high steer knuckle, some Bilstein shocks, and a lot of cool stuff that Spike is gonna need. So super duper geeked about this project. That's the dream, right? Everybody wants a built rig with 40s and tons, or maybe that's just me, I don't know. But it seems really cool. So I came out today. I'm actually gonna take some measurements and stuff. I also had picked up the other day a 12,000 pound, one of the new Badlands winches, and a winch cradle. So I'm gonna start working on fabricating the front bumper. Yeah, that's what I want to be doing. Instead I'm dealing with house stuff. Tip for you guys, anybody who doesn't know, and I didn't know, but apparently water intruding from outside of your home is not covered on a normal insurance policy. And when I inquired about after the fact, now that I know this because they've denied my claim, don't want to help me at all. So I asked about flood insurance, and because I guess I don't live in a flood plain, although how the hell else would I have ended up with so much dang water on my house? But I don't live in a flood plain, so they won't allow me to get flood insurance either. So I guess you're just screwed. So really, insurance is a giant freaking scam. It's a legalized crime, and I'm a little bitter about it. I'm not gonna lie. This is extremely frustrating. The house is, we've obviously had water issues. You can see in other videos. We've had water issues. To this point, we've been able to hold it back. But I didn't realize it wasn't until my excavator friend was over and was like, man, did you see the water running from here to there and then there to there? And then it literally leads right to your yard. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, I never realized that, you know, the culverts and drainage ditches were literally leading directly to my yard. So anyway, Serenity. I need to work on trucks.